What's up guys, in this tutorial I will show you the best settings for Apex Legends on your mobile device. This should be quite an easy tutorial. For more information, click on the first link in the description below. Navigate to your in-game settings. In the Basic Settings tab, you have the option to enable or disable aim assist. When first playing, I suggest enabling aim assist, as it will help you a lot in tracking enemy movement. It can mess up your aim when having more than one enemy in your sights, but I would still leave this option enabled. Change the fire modes to your liking. A lot of these settings will come down to your personal preference, and you should edit them while playing a game to see what works best for you. The gyroscope settings can help you aim, as it uses your device's position to aim. This can be somewhat imprecise, and I prefer to disable this option. In your advanced basic settings, you have additional firing and ADS settings. In your gameplay settings, you should leave the auto open doors option enabled. This will prevent you from having to use too many buttons while playing the game. I like to enable the double tap the screen to ping option and disable the dedicated ping button. This can reduce clutter on your screen. Change your first person perspective and third person perspective FOV below. The default values are not bad compared to the desktop version, but you might want to increase this a bit. Change your movement settings below. This will change your crouch, climbing and auto run settings. All of the other HUD and specific movement settings can be changed in your advanced movement settings section. Your display settings will have a lot of impact on the performance and visual quality of your gameplay, and they will heavily depend on your device's performance and your quality performance preferences. For reference, I am using an iPhone 11 Pro Max in this example, and the game runs very well with enough quality for the screen size. I use the HD image quality, which is recommended by the game, but you might want to reduce this to balanced when experiencing low frame rate, dropped frames or high device temperatures. Balanced will allow the game to reduce the texture quality a bit to maintain a steady or balanced performance. Set the frame rate control option to high when using a newer mobile device which supports higher frame rates. Otherwise, set this to balanced as well. You can also reduce the battery consumption of the game when reducing the FPS control option. The graphic style option should not impact your performance by a lot. It will rather change the colors and contrast you see while playing Apex Legends. Adjust your screen UI below, especially when having a notch on your screen as I am. This will prevent the game from showing HUD elements and buttons on the notch or camera cutout of your screen. The adaptive smoothing option allows the game to change the graphics quality in order to maintain a stable frame rate. Enable this option when experiencing low device performance. In your advanced display settings, disable dynamic shadows. This will increase your performance for the cost of the visual quality of shadows, which are not important to winning games. I prefer to disable the refraction quality and anti-aliasing options as well. When this is done, we will take a look at your sound settings. These will again depend on what you prefer. I like to reduce the background music by a lot. The voice announcement is also less important to me, especially when talking to teammates. The voice message mic volume should not be muted in order to properly use voice chat in-game. Next, in your sensitivity settings, you have the option to change your rotation mode. For a consistent experience, you might want to use fixed speed instead of speed or distance acceleration. If you're playing on a small screen, then speed acceleration is a better option, as you can rotate more the faster you turn. You can use an overall sensitivity preset below. This will be set to medium by default. After getting used to a sensitivity preset, change the settings below to your preference. These will be different for the first person and third person perspectives. In your advanced sensitivity settings, you have all of the individual scope and gyroscope settings available to you if you really want to customize these to your preferred gaming experience. Your control settings allow you to change your screen settings and control modes for the Battle Royale and multiplayer mode individually. When tapping on Custom Layout, you can select each button or HUD element and change its scale and opacity. When using the arrow icons, you can change the location of the button on your screen. You can also simply hold and drag the button and change the location. Save this layout to one of your 3 custom settings, or reset your process in case you made a mistake. Under Battle Feedback, change the damage number display mode option from off, which will not show any damage numbers, but the hit indicator will still stay visible, to stacking, which will display the complete damage in one number, to floating, or both. This is set to both by default. Make sure to leave the crosshair enabled below, otherwise you will have a hard time aiming. The incoming damage feedback is great to help you locate an enemy, but I dislike the edge tips option. That's why I keep it disabled. After taking a look at these settings, tap on Pick Up Settings. These settings will determine what the game picks up automatically when playing Battle Royale or multiplayer. I would suggest leaving the Auto Pickup option enabled. You can then change the amount of consumables and weapon ammunition the game should pick up automatically. When tapping on Save Settings, the game will ask you to save it to one of 3 slots. Linking your Facebook, Apple or EA account, you will have the option to save your custom settings to the cloud. This will enable you to log into a different device and use your settings without having to change them again. In case you have any further issues or problems following this tutorial, then I suggest following my extensive guide linked in the description below. I hope this helped you out. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and see you in the next one.